Hello and welcome to the fifth episode of the Vapid Discussion Podcast, the podcast where someone who thinks he knows everything argues about stupid shit with someone who knows he knows nothing.
Man, we're already 5 episodes deep. Crazy.
Yeah, I'm Chip, the host, joined by, as always, Jin, Christian, Senior Caribou, any number of
S-
pseudonyms.
See, that is I.
Yeah. Um, I don't really have any transitions, so I'm just gonna start talking about topics. So I got a notification earlier that some people from Iraq were trying to got into my old Gmail account, which is tied to my YouTube channel. So that was
Oh,
that sucked. I had to change my passwords and shit.
tell them to get away.
Yeah. Uh, and speaking of passwords, it reminded me because I was thinking about lunch codes because I used to have my lunch pin number be involved all my passwords. I found a website that sells. Um, do you remember in school? Because remember we in the last episode we were talking about the school lunches. Do you remember the? Um, it was like the mozzarella sticks. It was or a pizza dipper stick. It was like a crust with mozzarella in it. And you got two of them,
Um, yeah, I think so.
and it came with a marinara sauce. Well, I found out you could buy them in bulk. You could get a case of 200 for $100. That's
Oh
50
wow.
cents a
I,
stick.
I, I haven't really had the desire to buy anything that reminded me of school lunch.
Well, I
Um,
saw a meme about it, so I had to find it because I
okay.
had to be the guy to solve everyone's problems. I was the guy who said this is where you could find them.
And,
Also,
and we're grateful you did.
yeah, but anyway, it was this website called Webstaurant where you could buy bulk food stuff, and you never go to Sheets.
No, I don't.
All right, well they sell these wings, and you could buy the wings on this thing in bulk for it's $100 for or no
Ooh.
$80 for 8 pounds.
I I need to do that
Yeah,
because
I'll send you a link.
wings are hella expensive. Hey, wings
Yeah,
are hella expensive. It's
they're
crazy.
breaded.
I was
Let me see if I can find it.
I was just gonna get some pizza from the infamous Pizza Bella that we did the first episode of
Yeah,
Pizza Town on, and like 2 pies is $24,
that's ridiculous.
and
I remember
just
a pie was a pie was $8.
what's even crazier is that a dozen wings is the same price as like a pie.
No,
I w-
that's
I
I
was like, what the
I
fuck?
I
That's
get
crazy.
I get wings being pricey, but they should not cost. But a pizza, if the wings are expensive, then the pizza should be very cheap.
Yeah, and they're just about the same. I think it's just wild that you can buy a pie for the same price as a dozen wings
Now the dozen
that really
the
aren't
dozen
the
wings
greatest.
I could see because chicken and chicken wings are expensive, but a pie is just dough and sauce. It shouldn't cost they should not be as expensive as they are.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think it's because
you die or something?
I think can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I uh I think it's because something to do with the opioid crisis.
The pies?
Well, everything the pizza places around us getting expensive and terrible.
Oh, okay.
It used to be that they could be really, really cheap and relatively high quality because they're getting all their money from opioids. The pizza place was just there to launder the money.
Uh-huh.
But as the opioid crisis kind of faded out and kind of became a fentanyl thing, which is a new industry, they kind of lost their connections, I guess. Or maybe all the opioid
Is that
addicts.
why we have so many pizza
Oh yeah,
places?
yeah. It's because of the opioid crisis. People were
X.
buying and selling OxyContin and shit, and then they had this money they couldn't launder otherwise, so they did pizza businesses because you could launder into tips, and people pay cash a lot. That's why there's that insane thing on credit cards. You ever notice that like
Oh yeah, like the
the extra fee for them is higher than anywhere else?
yeah,
It's
it's
because
fucked up. Don't like
yeah, it's
that.
because they can't it's to disincentivize it so they could launder the money better.
Well, sorry businesses for making it hard to launder money.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I remember
Oh,
I
sorry.
remember Pizza Bella used to give out free drinks and stuff. Those are the days. Not anymore.
Yeah, they kind of really fell off. We still need
Oh
to do
yeah.
pizza time. We still need to do pizza time. The Pizza Town, whatever it's called.
I think it's funny that we can never get it right because it's one of the two.
Yeah. I need a new editing project because I've like started working on a new video just so I could like edit something.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't have the patience for like other things.
you like editing though? That's
Yeah.
a new
Like
like
so
of yours?
like the reason I never like finished my D&D wiki video was because I was waiting for other people to do like voice lines and shit, and like I had to like draw up the assets and like think of like the pacing, actually do research and write a script and shit, and I don't have the patience for that. But for me, editing
That's
is really
reminding me
stream of
of
mind.
that reminds me of when I used to make machinimas and I had to wait for people to bring me their voice lines back in the good old days.
The good old days, that nebulous thing that I kind of hate that shit though. People say, "Oh, the good old days weren't actually good." No, I mean like, well, everything's shit now, so going back wouldn't make things worse.
Yeah. No, yeah, it definitely was gooder days for sure.
Yeah. Um.
Um,
So one thing I wanted to do, one though, speaking of like no patience. So the one thing I wanted to do was, I want to do like a comic, and my idea, because I can't draw for shit. So my idea was to, like, pose figures in Gary's mod, and then take screenshots, and then
oh my God.
draw over with MS Paint, so like it looks shitty. Like, it looks shitty, but there's like a style to it. The problem was like the models I installed
I
have like 8 million bones, and like they weren't set up properly. So whenever I tried to like do a
oh
pose, it completely fucked it up, and like the gravity was weird.
man,
Ideally,
I
what I
don't
would do
think
is
I've
I
had
just
an original thought.
oh sorry.
No, no, no. I thought to do the exact same thing with
Oh
3D
yeah,
characters.
yeah. I think maybe if I do it
Yeah.
with Source Filmmaker, I can. Uh, the problem being that like the only people who make good Source Filmmaker models are perverts. But also, I don't really need them to look the models look good. They just need to be like roughly in the shape of whatever character I want to draw.
Yeah, because you're gonna sketch over them.
Yeah, but yeah. Like nothing is ever truly original.
I feel like we've talked about this on the podcast on one of the
Actually, The
times.
Simpsons did it
But
first. They did. Actually, no. South Park did The Simpsons did a thing. Yeah. I was just thinking about this. Like, it sucks how it's impossible to be subversive anymore.
yeah, I was watching an anime which their whole thing was to try to like subvert anime expectations, but it came to a point where I knew exactly what they were going to do. So if they would have done what anime normally would have done, it would have subverted my expectations.
Yeah. Like so again, like I like do a lot of D&D stuff because it's like my main creative outlet, and like I had this idea for like a plot involving like a hyper intelligent orc that like was trying to build
Uh-huh.
society of like idiots, inspired by the Crossed comics, which they're a mixed bag, but the one thing they did was interesting. Anyway, but the problem is like actually this orc is intelligent is like almost a trope in of itself now. Like the subversion has become the trope.
Ah, yeah. See that's what I mean.
Yeah. It's like actually the bad guys like we no we can't I can't go down that thing because of the no Star Wars. We're no longer allowed to talk about Star Wars. We can't do Star Wars talk anymore. No, I'd rather die than talk more about those fucking movies. Eh, Anyway,
I wonder how long we talked about that shit.
it was like 40 fucking minutes. Uh,
Title of last episode: Talking
yeah,
too much about Star Wars.
yeah. But yeah,
Oh,
subversion. Like people tried so hard to subvert things that like it's become expected. So if you actually do something like genuine, then that's almost more subversive. Like just being like,
that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. Yeah.
yeah, like telling a story where like a knight saves a princess from a dragon in a castle. Like that's
Like
subversive.
traditional.
Yeah, because how often do you see that anymore?
It
You don't.
You don't. Yeah, because they a million times they try to put a spin on the princess or the situation. Going traditional at that point would subvert your expectations.
Hell, Shrek, which is like supposed to be a subversion of a knight saves a princess from a dragon in a tower, ended up like with the knight saving the princess from a dragon in a tower, and they married and they were happy ever after. Like, even though it was subversive, it was still like did the thing, and it was great for it.
Yeah.
You want something kind of funny?
Huh.
You know how like Puss in Boots is uh, like a parody of Zorro in like the Shrek
Zorro.
movies because Antonio Banderas
Yeah.
played Zorro, so it was like a parody of that. But he only was in
Uh-huh.
Zorro for like 2 movies, but he was Puss in Boots for Shrek 2, Shrek 3, Shrek 4, the first Puss in Boots
Shrek
movie.
did a lot better.
There was the Puss in Boots like cartoon TV show which he might have been the voice actor for, and then he was also in Puss in Boots 2. But then also he did because he's multilingual. He speaks English, Italian, and Spanish. He did the dub for
Damn.
all of them. So he basically recorded every
I love
movie
that
three
shit.
times. So he was Puss in Boots, the parody of Zorro, more than he was Zorro. And what's great is that like the
I
first Zorro was good, but like the second Zorro movie sucked ass.
you you don't hear like voice actors who are able to dub over themselves a lot, but I really like it when that's a thing.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for him because like
I'm
he's like
trying to
stuck to the character.
Yeah. I really wait. Was was Puss in Boots 2 the one that was like surprisingly really
Yeah,
good?
it was like the first Puss in Boots movie was like all right. Like it looked very nice. It was like very well lit and whatever. But like the second one was like
Mhm.
animated really well. It was fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it had the death whatever his character was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Although I am getting really sick and tired of the fucking hyper realistic panic attack shit. I'm getting real sick and tired of that.
Is it being is it being overdone or something
Yeah,
or
it's being overdone. It was in fucking Mario.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Mario had a panic attack?
Yeah, he gets his ass kicked by fucking Bowser, and he's like, "Oh man, I'm oh no," and then like Luigi shows up and solves everything because Luigi is like it's kind of like how Donald Duck is significantly more interesting than Mickey Mouse by virtue of him being allowed to
Yeah.
be kind of an asshole and be kind of a shithead.
Yeah. Yeah, that is funny. It gives him more depth.
Yeah, like he's a coward, and that's funny.
Huh. He's
In I don't know if it's the first one, but one of the Luigi's Mansion games, if you idle long enough, Luigi starts like humming along to the background music,
that's
and
cool.
that's so much more personality than anything that like Mario ever has.
Yeah, I don't really play any Mario games or anything like that, but I do respect that.
Have you ever played Mario?
No.
It was a browser port of like the first Mario game, like Super Mario Brothers, but you had a portal gun.
That's cool.
There was also super cross,
Mario's the
yeah,
cereal.
yeah. There's also super crossover bros, where like you could play as like the Contra guys, you could play as Link, you could play as fucking Samus, the Excite Bike guy. But then like
Man,
they like that got DMCA'd by Nintendo because they're a bunch of fuckheads. And then
I hate Nintendo. I hate them. I hate
dude,
Nintendo.
a shit ton of like stuff was taken off the Gmod workshop because Nintendo apparently it wasn't even Nintendo. It was like a weird third party lawyer thing.
I
That,
it still fits the Nintendo uh like
yeah,
bill, I
it
guess.
was
I
done
don't know.
on behalf of
It's how they
Nintendo.
act.
Yeah,
It doesn't surprise. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's like let's Nintendo on their way to send lawyers to break the fingers of with hammers of like some kid named Luigi in Italy.
Oh man, the one that always comes to mind was like the tournament that was being held that was like completely done by fans, but they were using a an emulator for it, and Nintendo sent a cease and desist because they were using an emulator for this completely fan done like Super Smash Bros tournament, and that has always just like stuck with me since. I will always hate them.
Yeah, they're just total scumbags.
Well, but they make pretty good games, so.
You may think you hate the Japanese enough, but you don't. Have you ever read Death Note?
No.
It's very, very frustrating because the only reason the plot happens because like the Japanese police are fucking insane.
Okay.
Like so it's
Probably need a little more
yeah. So
context.
do you know what the plot of like Death Note is? Like the idea of Death Note?
Dude writes a names in the book and people die.
Yeah, right. But what happens is like the Japanese government like baits him into like killing some guy on TV, but they murder a death row inmate to
Oh,
do it. Also, keep in mind, like, do you know how like this is gonna be a whole tangent? Do you know how they do the death penalty in Japan?
I do not. No.
You know how like the average wait period for the death row in America is like 25 years?
Yeah, I knew something like that.
Do you know what the death wait for? You know what the period of wait time is for in Japan?
I'm just gonna throw out a number. 5 years.
No, that'd be somewhat reasonable. It's anywhere between a week and a month.
Oh, oh shit. Oh shit.
Yeah. And
Wow.
the prisoner does not know they're going to be executed until an hour beforehand.
That's fucked.
The family and the lawyers are not informed until after it's already done.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah. You
Oh
can't
man.
like you can't get an appeal. Like the reason it takes so long in America is because the American system is predicated on the idea that we understand humans are intrinsically fallible, and by virtue of being run by people, the government is also fallible, that we have to put a large wait period in because you don't want to accidentally kill an innocent guy.
Right, right.
But in Japan, they don't care.
In Japan, they're just like, well, we think you're evil, so bye.
Yeah,
That's
and
holy
it's
shit.
almost exclusively people who tried to fight the case are executed.
Wait, what?
If
They
you all right,
they tried to stand up
yeah,
for themselves?
let's say um let's say you rape and murder a girl like violently over the course of several days,
Okay.
and then you do it 3 more times,
Okay.
and then the police knock on your door and they see like the bodies and shit. If you say, "Yeah, I did it. I killed these people. I'm pleading guilty," you'll be out in like a couple years.
Oh wow, they're so kind.
But you come home one night, your girlfriend isn't home, and like that's weird. You call her, she can't answer. You call the police, they'll say they'll look for her. They can't find her. She's just disappeared. And then one day the police show up and say, yeah, you murdered her. You're going to jail." And like, well, what evidence? Yeah, well, you're the last one who saw her, or you're the last one. Like, did you find a body?
Ooh.
No. Did you find evidence of a struggle? No. She's just gone. Yeah, and we think you did it, so you're going to jail. So if you fight it in court, which they have a 95% conviction rate.
Oh, wow. I'm
And
sure that's not just because they're really good. I'm sure it's because they force that shit.
All right, so it's a shitty example, but you know how, you ever play or see the Phoenix Wright games,
I know about Phoenix, right?
where you're like a defense attorney, and if you don't just have to defend your guy, you have to like actually solve the case yourself and find the actual guy who did it and then get him to confess on the stand.
Well, I didn't know all that, but
But that's how it actually is in Japan.
oh,
Like in America, you just have to prove my guy most likely didn't do it, or he probably didn't do it,
yeah.
and that's enough. But in Japan, you have to prove someone else did it.
wow, you have to like become your own
Yeah.
investigator.
Yeah. I mean, like there's a reason why like public like defense attorneys, like the reason why like actual violent rapist murder psycho guys get off, not off, but like do time and then get released, like the Otaku killer. He killed a bunch of women, butchered their bodies, and he was only in prison for like 7 years maybe. And then he's free. He's like on
Not
Twitter
enough.
and shit. But yeah, like the reason like what a defense attorney does is all of their effort goes into making plea bargains.
That's I don't know. I don't know how to think about that. That's not great, man.
Yeah, so if you ever get accused of a crime in Japan, statistically the best way to come out alive and on a short period of time is to just confess and profoundly apologize for it.
You know what's weird? That almost like seems like right in Japan. Like I don't. It feels like it fits into their
Yeah, it does. Yeah, because that's their whole
society,
culture.
I guess you could say.
All right, here's something. You know how like you like lived in Japan for a while. You know how like
I was there for a year and a half. Yeah.
well that's like I mean that's how old are you, like 23? That's like 10%, like not 10% of your life. That's like 5% of your life. Yeah,
10% of my life.
yeah, it's like a not like a year for
Do
like
you know
someone,
something I don't?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not good at math. Yeah, evidence statistics. That's what you know, and I don't. But so you know how like there's this culture of like you do not talk up to your boss. Like you don't point out.
Yeah,
how your
yeah.
When I think it was Hyundai, when Hyundai was like first being manufactured in America, the American manufactured ones were just total dog shit. They were falling apart. They were not running properly. They were completely fucked up. Do you know why?
I don't know.
Because in Japan, the original engineers fucked up their measurements and shit and designed a shitty car.
Oh.
And when they sent their documents to the factory saw this is shit. This is all fucked up. We can't send this out.
Oh.
But we can't correct our bosses.
I've heard.
So they changed everything without saying anything. And then when it got shipped over to America, they sent their boss's instructions over, not the ones they were actually doing.
Right. No, actually, yeah. This does actually ring a bell. Yeah, because they couldn't talk back to their boss. Yeah, everything was all fucked up.
Yeah, it's they're like a very, that entire culture is fucked.
I have said this to people who've asked me if I like would like to live in Japan. The answer is no. Visiting, I'm for that. Like, but living in there, absolutely not. Unless I'm a millionaire who doesn't need to work.
Or what you
Like,
do
I
is
do not want to.
you get one of those jobs where they put you in a window room, and it's like you go crazy because they don't give you anything to do. Like, man, that would not work in America. In fact,
We could
there
just
are
sit there,
places
just
there are places in America where people are given jobs that they don't have to do anything just so they have like have you ever gone to we went to DC, right, for like the school trip, right? Did you ever remember
yeah, I think so,
seeing
yeah.
any like elevator attendants or like anything like that?
I couldn't remember a thing like that, but it's
Because
possible.
I remember seeing like a maybe because you just weren't looking for them, but I saw there was like a like not like a attendants, just people standing around, information guys, ladies, just standing around. People who just like stood around and like just collected a paycheck. Was like I remember like when I went to DC when I was like little, little as in like younger, I was like 10, 11, 12. Um,
Hmm.
there was a lot of like elevator attendants, a lot of people who just had jobs to just have a job. Like they didn't actually do anything.
Is that what you want?
Yeah, that's what I want. Uh,
Jealous?
yeah. You know that I've heard of like universal basic income.
No.
It's the idea that like that everyone is like given an allowance to live off of regardless of what they do.
Um. Yeah, I don't know if that sounds like the government
Yeah.
stepping in, and
Yeah, it's
that just sounds
basically
like we'd be
well
taxed more. And
exactly, you know. It's basically welfare for everyone just to help the lowest common denominator. What I want is triple basic income where I get paid to do nothing and then everyone else has to pay for it. I think that'd be great.
man, you'd make a great dictator.
Yeah. Yeah, if every
Uh,
the one joke I haven't made yet is you may be brave enough. You may be you may be bold enough to demand that everything you don't like is illegal, but are you brave enough to demand everything you do like to be legal? The joke being that it implies that like whatever you like is illegal.
yeah, fucked up shit.
Yeah. Well, speaking of liking things that
I,
are
I,
legal,
oh,
uh, you know,
hey.
we still don't have any. We still don't have any comments, so there's still no winners for the previous one, which I think was the worst twist. So, uh, the one thing I this bit would work better if I said that we were accused of being misogynistic, but we haven't been because no one watched our fucking show. Um, but I imagine if
Yeah,
someone
well,
watched the video the podcast, they'd say we're being misogynistic. So to prove that we're not misogynistic, we're gonna say what we like about women. So Christian, what is the best part of a woman?
uh, I think just like objectively, yeah, gotta be boobs. Yeah, gotta be boobs.
There's a slight problem with that, Christian.
The what?
It's what part, not what parts. You have to pick one.
Oh shit. Um. Uh. Left boob.
Why left?
Uh, because like, left is more special. Like there's a lot less left-handed people, so it's more special.
So you
Like
think that
right is common. Right is common. So.
so you think you're going left because it's been like you know how like you have a pillow that's like you used for a while, it gets kind of flat.
Yeah, I'm sitting on it right
You're
now.
you're trying to avoid that, right?
Yeah.
All right, Christian. All right. So do you have like any other like reasons why it's you prefer the left?
No, I mean it's the boob less grabbed because of the the smaller amount of left-handed people, so it's less used.
All right, a few things. One, first of all, right? Have you ever heard the phrase, "No one ever goes there. It's too crowded"?
Yeah.
Christian, every other guy is thinking, everyone goes right, I'm going to go left.
Uh-huh.
It's reverse psychology.
Oh shit. I'm being I'm being reverse psychologied right now.
Also, have you ever heard of the cross draw?
No.
When you're carrying a firearm, you keep your gun on your side of whatever hand you're dominant with.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like you keep like every cop, they have their gun on their right side because they're all right-handed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, exactly. That's what
Because
I'm
if
saying.
you have to, if you have, but if you have it on your left side, you have to reach across over your body. It's more movement. It takes longer, and you're less dexterous with that
Yeah.
hand. Right.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, I'm gonna say, Christian, that the best part of woman is the right boob, because everyone's going left because they think they're gonna outsmart everyone else. Right? Everyone's taking the path less traveled. So I'm going to take the path that's most traveled because it's clear and nobody's there while everyone else is missing the point of the fucking poem and crawling through the brush, tripping over logs and shit, walking through spider nests, getting ticks and chiggers and spiky shit, and somehow gravel and dirt is ending up in your shoe even though it's tied. It doesn't make sense, but it's standing there. All that's happening because you didn't want to take the path most traveled. And with the cross draw, if you go the quickest path between two objects is a straight line. If you're going left and you're right-handed, you're moving diagonally. There's a delay between
There's a delay.
between the extension and the contact. But if you're going right-handed, it's right. It's quicker, more instant. It's not instantaneous.
Least resistance.
Yes, there's less wind resistance, too. You're not dealing with terminal velocity quite yet, but if you were running as fast as you can towards a woman and then reached right, you'd be getting there faster than if you reached left.
Least time for them react. Less time for them to react. Fuck. What if you're like overthinking it? What if it's reverse psychology, where like everyone's also thinking that they're overthinking, so they go right.
Once you get into reverse psychology, you should just stop because you're just psyching yourself out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just boobs we're talking about. You might as well just go, go for it.
You might not have time for both.
I mean, yeah, you have to pick one side. So, what a fucking question.
You see, this is like we're talking about physics, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about math, engineering, ergonomics. That's a word.
It is. Oh man, ergonomics. What is the ease of access to the boob?
Yeah. Is she wearing one of those crop tops where you get the under boob?
Oh.
Is she wearing a virgin killer sweater where you have to kind of go around the back? Is she wearing overalls but no shirt?
So many deep and complex questions. You'd think it's just a simple answer, but no, there's so many things that need to go into the thought process. Ergonomics. Type of clothing.
A while ago, I found a YouTube channel of this chick who all she does is she just wears a uh overalls with no top, and she just like splits logs with an axe, and like each video's like 45 seconds long, and I can't find that channel anymore.
Oh, that's a damn shame.
Yeah. You know who probably knows it? Have you
Eye
ever,
contact's probably hard.
yeah, just probably one guy who knows it. Have you ever heard of the Wonder Bread guy?
I don't think so.
It's this guy that I kind of know because I interact with him a few, because he called into a podcast to listen to. He called into the Dick Show a lot, and he's on Twitter a lot, and
Oh
I
yeah,
like
you've
talk
done
to him.
that.
He sent me like his memoirs, and like I give writing advice and shit. He frequently goes on 4chan's cartoon and comics board, but he's notorious. Name's Merlogic, a very very funny guy, a very very interesting guy. Like he talks about how he grew up in the system, in foster care. There was like a child molester would come and like shop for kids at this one place he worked or lived at. He was telling stories about how he was volunteering at like a homeless shelter for Thanksgiving, and they spent
Okay.
like 8 hours making deviled eggs and peeling eggs, and when they finally got done there was no time to actually make a turkey and stuffing and shit, so everyone was just eating deviled eggs at this homeless shelter.
Oh,
He's a really funny guy, but he's called
that
the
place
one.
gonna be smelling
Yeah.
crazy.
He's called the Wonder Bread guy because he has a obsession with drawings of blonde women, like typically uh, older
Uh
women,
huh.
like in their like 30s ish, using chainsaws to cut down trees while eating sandwiches made out of Wonder Bread or wearing Wonder Bread themed clothing or just holding a bag of Wonder Bread.
And he took the name Wonder Bread because of this.
No, he's called Merlogic, Murrlogic, or just Mur. If you
Okay. All right.
just
All
go
right.
just Google Wonder Bread art, and then go to image.
I don't have my browser open, so
Uh, yeah, if you just type, yeah, and you scroll down, like there's a picture of a white. It's always like a white lady with a chainsaw.
oh my god, the first thing when I type in Wonder Bread, the first thing that comes up is Wonder Bread guy. Ain't no way.
Yeah, Merlogic. He's like, but he's like a pretty cool guy. Like, yeah, he's weird and eccentric and autistic, but he's like not a bad person. Like, way too many of those weird fetish guys are like just terrible people.
Yeah.
But he's pretty fun. He's pretty funny. He's pretty entertaining. He's a great storyteller. Um, and he has this
Bread.
he and like, but here's the thing, like, right? So like artistically, like a rich white woman, a rich white blonde woman, destroying nature, and like eating like Wonder Bread, like this hyper processed bread material. Like it makes sense, right? Like the aesthetic makes sense in your head. This kind of like destructive consumerism.
Yeah, all right, yeah, it makes sense in the head.
He's
The
like
brain dome.
he is like a modern day Vincent Van Gogh.
Oh Lord.
Like his brain works in a way that no one else's does, but when you see it, it makes sense. He's speaking to a higher truth.
A higher plane of existence.
Yeah, it's like the platonic solids, or not the platonic solids, but there's like this concept in philosophy as like the ideal form. Like there's different kinds of chair, but there exists like a metaphysical concept of a perfect chair. that all other forms of chair are derived from. And I think he got close to like as close as he's gonna get to like encapsulating one of these ideal forms.
I think it's fucking. Just think it's wild that it's the first thing that comes up
No,
when I search
he's
Wonder Bread.
very prolific. He's been like known for like 10 years, 10 maybe like 10 15 years. Hold on.
When you first talk about it, it sounds like one of those things that you just like know that's like super like obscure, like a lot of the things you know for some reason. But nah, nope. This is just the first result on Google. I'm slightly worried to look it up any deeper.
There are 25 pieces of art that are tagged as having Wonder Bread on Rule 34, which is more than one.
It is more than
It's
one.
more than zero.
Hey, Rule 34, the tagline, if it exists, there's porn of it. So
Well, that's like what people don't even know what the other rules of the internet are.
I couldn't tell you actually.
Uh,
Maybe that's something we should talk about one of these times.
I'll
If it's talk worthy.
Let's see here. Okay, rule number 0 is don't fuck with cats.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Rule number 1 is don't talk about B. Rule 2 is you don't talk about B. Rule 3 is we are anonymous. Rule 4 is we are legion. Rule 5 is we do not forgive, we do not forget. Rule 6 is anonymous can be horrible, senseless, uncaring monster. Can be a horrible, senseless, uncaring monster. Rule 7, anonymous is still able to deliver. Rule 8, there is no real rules about posting. Rule 9, there are no real rules about moderation either. Enjoy your ban. Rule 10, B is not your personal army. B is the random board on 4chan. I'm already breaking the first rule. Fuck it. Rule 11, no matter how much you love debating, keep in mind that no one on the internet debates. Instead, they mock your intelligence as well as your parents.
Okay.
Rule 12, anything you say can and will be used against you.
Hey, that's just a law.
Rule 13,
But also-
anything you say can and will be turned into something else.
Very true.
Rule 14, don't argue with trolls, it means they win.
Chippa would know a little bit about.
Rule 15, the harder you try, the harder you will fail. Rule 16, if you fail in epic proportion, it may become a winning failure. Rule 17, every win fails eventually. Rule 18,
These are some
everything
weird-ass
that can be
rules.
labeled can be hated. Rule 19, the more you hate it, the stronger it gets. Rule 20.
That's why Nintendo's still going strong.
Yeah. Rule 20, nothing is to be taken seriously. That's like my rule for life.
I was gonna say, like, man, you should put that up on your fucking wall.
Rule 21.
21.
Rules 21 through 24. Original content is original only for a few seconds before it's no longer original. Copy pasta is made to ruin every last bit of originality. Copy pasta is made to ruin every last piece of originality. Every post is always a repost of a repost. The joke is that it's resetting itself. Rule 29, on the internet, men are men, women are also men, and kids are undercover FBI agents. Rule 30, girls do not exist on the internet.
True.
Rule 31, tits or get the fuck out. The choice is yours.
Oh, I'd have to agree.
Yeah. Rule 32, You must have pictures to prove your statement. Anything can be explained with a picture. Fucking Mr.
Okay.
Softy's out in the streets. I could hear it.
Oh, Mr. Softy.
Rule 33, lurk more.
I
It's never enough. Basically, like, just pay attention more, watch more, don't actually post shit. Rule
I
30.
actually
Yeah.
I fuck with that. You don't though.
Benjamin Franklin famously said,
I'm sure he did whatever you're
speak
about
little,
to say.
think often. But keep in mind, Benjamin Franklin was also a serial killer and also not real. So, Rule 34, the one everyone's intimately familiar with, if it exists, there is porn of it, no exceptions. Rule 35, if there is no porn of it, porn will be made of it. Rule 36, no matter how Rule number 36, no matter how fucked up it is, there's always worse than what you just saw. Rule 37, you cannot divide by 0 just because the calculator says so.
Okay.
38, no real limits of any kind apply here, not even the sky. 39, this is all in caps locks. Caps locks is cruise control for cool. 40 is even with cruise control, you still have to steer, and they're both in caps. Rule 41, Desu isn't funny. Seriously, guys, it's worse than Chuck Norris jokes. Desu was like a thing from like early 4chan.
Okay.
42, nothing is sacred. I agree with that. 43, 42 and 43. The more beautiful and pure a thing is, the more satisfying it is to corrupt it. You know, obviously that's true. Rule 44. If it exists, there is a version of it for your fandom, and it has a wiki and possibly a tabletop version with a theme song performed by a Vocaloid. When one sees a lion, one must get into a car.
What?
That's 35. I don't.
Okay.
I'm not that much of a internet guy. This was written like 2003.
Okay.
36. The internet is serious fucking business. The joke is that you shouldn't take it seriously. Rule 37 or Rule 47. The pool is always closed.
Okay.
Do you know
Some of these I feel like.
Do you know what the pool is closed refers to?
Absolutely not. No.
There used to be a game called Habbo Hotel. Well, they're still around, but there's a game called Habbo Hotel, and it used to be that if you stood in front of something, you could block it. And what people would do is 4chan guys would dress up. They'd make a character who's a black guy with an afro wearing a suit, and they would stand in front of the pool and just repeatedly say, "Pool's closed due to AIDS, due to stingrays." And due to stingrays with AIDS. They would also stand in the shape of swastikas and shit, but they would always block the pool and say the pool's closed. It was one of Anonymous's first big trolls, which not even really anonymous. It was just some people on 4chan. This all comes from 4chan, It's
I kind of got that feeling.
Yeah. You're lucky enough to never really use 4chan.
I've never been on 4chan once.
Yeah, good. Don't go on 4chan. It's not good. Rule 48, the only good hentai is Yuri. That's how the internet works. Only exception may be vanilla.
I agree.
49, no matter what it is, it's somebody's fetish. Rule 50, a crossover, no matter how improbable, will eventually happen in fan art, fan fiction, or official release materials, often through fan fiction of it. Do you know the Archie comics? You know Archie, Hey Sugar Sugar from the B movie song?
Yeah.
Archie, the little dork from the comics, fought the Predator.
Really?
Yeah. There's a comic where Slim Shady teams up with Frank Castle, the Punisher.
Crossover comics are cool.
There's always going to be
I
a
like them.
crossover, and there's also like a million fan fiction shit. Oh shit, I scrolled. I lost my place.
I've always liked that type of shit. I don't know. It's cool, I guess. As long as it's not really overly
Yeah.
dumb, stupid, I guess.
Oh, it's almost always dumb and stupid. Rule 61.
Hey,
Chuck,
there's a few times it's not, all right?
Chuck Norris is the exception, no exceptions. 62. It has been 62. It has been cracked and pirated. You could find anything if you look long enough.
Agree with that. Yeah.
Rule 63. For every given male character, there is a female version of that character, and vice versa. And
You
there is
didn't even have to
always
complete
porn
that
of that
sentence.
character.
I knew where that was going. Oh. I, you didn't even have to finish. I just knew where that was going.
Rule 64. If it exists, it has a lore, and like lore is like drawn out because everything has fucking lore and shit. 65.
I can't help it.
If it doesn't,
I must
there
create
will
lore.
be. 66. The longer the lore around something is, the weirder it gets. 67. If it has lore, it also has lore from alternate timelines, especially if the main lore is copyrighted by a big power-hungry corporation.
Hey. Yeah, actually.
67 and a half. 90% of fan fiction is the stuff of nightmares. 68
True.
is everything has a fandom. Everything. 69.
Yeah.
Nice. 70. Do not talk about the 100 million get failure.
Okay.
100 like whenever you post on 4chan, it generates a random post number. So whoever got post 100 million wasted it on saying something lame about movies and shit. When someone could have said something really funny, and it would have been the 100 millionth post. If a song exists,
That's a shame.
If a song exists, there's a Megalovania version of it. 77.
That feels more recent.
It's very
of a rule.
After 70, it's a lot more thing. 77. Why does it jump?
It goes from like what 70 to 77.
72 to 77. Where's? All right, maybe that's fucked. Anyway, I'm just reading off the TV tropes thing. The internet makes you stupid. And then if something is popular, there's brain rot of it. And then if something is popular, there's no brain rot of it. It's coming soon. That's all right. So, everything after 70 is new.
Yeah, this is wild. It's like
there's more.
Almost.
I'm pretty sure that that might just be like those are that's probably even like the wrong one. All right, here's here's the original. There's the original 18. Number 1 is do not talk about rules 2 through 33 because they don't exist.
Wait, I'm sorry. Are there different rules?
Yeah, this is the original. That was like a newer set of rules. I read the one on TV tropes.
Oh.
Rule 1 is do not talk about rules 22 to 33. Rule 34 is there's porn of it, no exceptions. 35 is the exception to Rule 34 is a citation of Rule 34. 36 is anonymous does not forgive. 37 is there are no girls on the internet. 38 is a cat is fine too, which is it's a joke about a guy raping a cat.
Yeah, I guess it is.
39 is one cat leads to another. And then 40 is a cat leads to a Zippo cat, which is... this is like some really old fag shit.
Ooh.
41 is everything is someone's sexual fetish. 42 is... it is delicious cake, you must eat it. 43 is it's a delicious trap, you must hit it. Basically, it's gay shit. 44 is B sucks today, which
I thought it was a Portal reference.
No, no. I mean,
it's unfortunate.
No, that's like an anime shit. This is like 2003. This was before.
Oh, okay.
This is archived on Encyclopedia Dramatica later. I should just fucking read off Encyclopedia Dramatica. They're the ones that are right, even though that website makes me want to throw up. B sucks today. Something about dicks. 47, you'll never have sex. 48, question mark. 50, 49, profit. 50, you cannot divide by 0. All right, we wasted too much time on that fucking bit. Uh, okay, so you
Well, I
said
don't think it was a bit, but
everything's a bit. Everything I do is a bit.
okay. All right. Good to know.
There is nothing I do. Everything I do is a joke, even and especially if I genuinely believe it.
There's some Chipple lore.
Yeah, I don't really have any serious personal convictions.
I know. Um, nah. So, yeah. Left boob,
Yeah,
right boob.
left boob versus right boob. Obviously right boob superior. Um,
Yeah, maybe. I'll walk the road less traveled.
but everyone else, but you'll walk the road less traveled just like everybody else.
You don't know that.
I do know that. I can see it clearly because the road that's traveled most is clear and paved, and there's signposts.
The signposts.
There's a metal post that says "Please clean up after your dog," and there's a box of plastic bags next to it.
My road is paved, but it is curved.
It's fucking spiders and shit.
Spiders. Oh wait,
You ever walk to the woods? It sucks.
I have walked through the woods. Been a little bit. How long have we been doing this?
An hour. Just reading off like old internet lore shit is really good way to kill time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh. All right. So like, do you have any like projects you want to talk about? Like just quick before you wrap up.
Uh, I mean, nothing too new from the last time. I want to start recording more of like I guess short form videos with my characters that I like to play that I've crafted.
I don't know. I don't think you can
Um,
top the fucking picking up chicks at Chuck E. Cheese bit.
Oh, yeah. I don't. I more just want to just like start recording, even if I don't particularly have a joke to tell. I just want to start recording and editing, kind of like you again.
Yeah, quality, not fuck.
Quantity, not quality.
Yeah, that's why I say more words. That way it's better.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So
I just miss editing and recording videos.
yeah, I think I'm gonna make that video I was talking about. It's talking about like spells in D&D, which I could do. I'm just gonna probably record it afterwards 'cause it's very simple to do. Um, after I edit this, it's because we had a weird skip. There's still 3 days since last one, so I might upload it on Monday or Tuesday to put more space in it. So I might wait a little bit to edit this. But the other thing I want to do is I really, really want to do a D&D show. Like run a D&D campaign and have it filmed and edited and do like maps and shit and like some graphics. I think that'd be really cool.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I just need to get like people to do it because like my actual D&D group is kind of disintegrating right now. Like we had to skip the 2 games. The one player he can't always make it. Mike can't always make his work. And the one guy has to like start his classes again, so I have to find
Uh,
people who are going to be able to do it. I was gonna see if you, Mike, and Ryan wanted to do it, which 3 people is enough, but I don't know what any of your guys like schedules are.
still Monday through Friday.
Yeah, maybe we could do it on
Yep.
Saturdays. I'll have to see when everyone's available.
I think we just need to start recording.
Yeah,
Like you remember my whole problem used to be that I used to like care too much, and nothing would ever get done, and I just like need
yeah,
to not do that.
and I don't care at all. Nothing ever gets done.
Yeah, I
All
don't
right,
I don't I don't
I
think
really,
I particularly
man,
enjoy streaming. So
yeah, I would stream if my PC, like my internet, could handle it, but it can't.
yeah, I don't know how to. I, yeah, how do we wrap this up? Let's.
Yeah, so go watch our other projects. My video will probably be out before this one comes out, maybe like a day or two beforehand. Um, Go watch his stuff. You can find him in the frequent
Frequently
collaborator
collaborated.
frequent collaborators on my homepage. Go find him. You can find him there. It's Senior Caribou. Go watch.
Is
Don't
me.
watch. Watch anything I'm in and then say how I'm the best part of it.
Yeah, yeah. I renamed the things to like Omniverse Origins instead of I Hate Furries. Um,
Yeah. Nah, I mean, you gotta think of broad
I did.
marketability.
I probably will eventually. I was trying to get a job, so I didn't want that on my YouTube channel.
Yeah. Oh, I can't. I already said it once in the video, but we could say that word once per video after the 15-minute mark.
Oh,
So me telling you that we could say it is I'm gonna have to censor this. But the other one I said earlier is not gonna be censored.
okay.
That's how we do
I
things here.
I yeah. I probably didn't even pay attention to it. So.
You got to look out for those things like the where it's like the Where's Waldo.
Ooh, but audio formed.
Yeah. Anyway, so um all right, we're done. Thanks for watching and or listening. I apologize for the poor quality. It's not going to get any better.